I am Skyler.
And I'm Actiel from Fusion Cosplay, and today we are watching episode 2 of season 3 of Breaking Bad.
Yes. So last episode, what happened?
Last episode, what happened? But it was like maybe the comeback. We take the hashes down of the tragedy about the airplane. We saw Walter and Jesse dealing with their grief.
Guilt.
Yes, their guilt. Sorry, and.
You met two guys.
We met two
cousins.
Two hermanos.
Yes. Yeah.
I do believe they are.
You
said they were brothers.
They look too similar to not be brothers. So they didn't say a word, but they had a great presence last episode. They killed some people, stole some clothes, and they went to a shrine where they basically asked death to help them with Walter White. So it's ominous.
Yeah, so they want to deal with Walter.
Yeah.
We saw Walter refusing a deal with Gus, and we saw Jesse going through his guilt about Jane.
He's considering himself the bad guy, right?
And he went out of rehab. So it's like the saddest plot. The plot is setting.
All our players are in their place. Now let's see what they do.
The pawns are placed, and we will see a great game of chess.
Okay, let's move on to the episode.
Let's go.
You know I pulled you over this morning?
No.
Well, I'm pretty sure I wasn't speeding. I've been using the cruise control, so I
No, sir. Your windshield.
Ah, man.
License registration, please.
My house was in the debris field. And that's what shattered my windshield, some piece of wreckage from the plane.
I understand.
Then what are you doing?
Citing you, sir.
What? What, you don't believe me?
So regardless of how that windshield was damaged, this car is unsafe to drive in this condition. Stay in the car, please.
Is he being towed? Actually, you can.
Wait just a minute. Just 1 minute.
Sir, I ask you to stay in the vehicle.
No. I can get out of my own car.
Sir, listen.
No. You listen to me. It's time for you to listen to me.
Sir, what you need to do is take a
Now,
deep breath.
this is
calm
America,
down, and get
okay?
back in
And
that
I have
car right
rights. Do you understand that?
Step back right now.
Did you even hear what I said?
Sir, calm
now
down.
You're giving me
Oh my
a
God, the
ticket.
white privilege
I
in the
told you
scene.
that my house was in the debris field. Do you have the remotest inkling of what that means?
Sir, calm down.
Hellfire rained down on my house.
Sir, I need you to step back. I need you to step back
There were
right
body
now.
parts in my yard.
Sir,
Are you
this
kidding
is your
me?
last warning.
You gotta be kidding me.
You got about 2 seconds to stand down. or I'm gonna pepper spray.
Are you gonna pepper spray?
You understand
Perfect.
that?
That is just perfect. Pepper spray the man who's expressing his opinion under the First Amendment.
What the fuck, man? Yeah.
Pepper spray in the eyes. It looks horrible.
He's got a lot of anger inside of him. It's gotta be his drive to be Heisenberg, really. That's what I'm seeing. I'm just seeing I'm just seeing a seed being planted and watch him grow.
Resentment.
Yes. Heisenberg. Heisenberg is his anger and everything. Huh? Something's for sale. A house. He's buying a house. He's kind of cleaned up. Jesse.
Jesse? Fixing up the house, huh? A little work, eh?
It's his old house.
Yep.
No balance, it's a quote.
You're looking healthy. Tell your mothers will be happy.
Thanks. No, I come by sometime for dinner or something.
Yeah. Sometime.
Rejection. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. But I understand why.
There is a residual issue though between them because they did, like last time they saw each other, they kicked him out.
But his drug addiction is not the only victim of it. You're doing wrong with everyone around you that cares for you.
afternoon. Nice to meet you, Saul Goodman.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, no. You won't be nice to meet you after this scene, I'm sure.
Well, folks, today's your lucky day. I represent a client who shall remain nameless. However, for our purposes, you might just as well visualize a large bag of money. This individual wants to buy your house today for cash. In fact, the money is already burning a hole in my client's account. You could ask Mr. Gardner. I've shown him all the pertinent financials.
It's the only reason we're sitting here.
Fair enough. We get a few papers signed and notarized. We can take care of this right now.
He's looking at him like he's a crook, man.
There's a ball that might be about to drop.
Little hair in the soup.
Yeah.
The price.
We feel $875 is very fair.
Huh?
I suppose there's always a little...
I know.
It's a huge house in
We
America.
lost on down to 400, and you got yourselves a deal.
400,000? What is that, a joke?
No, that's my offer.
Well, this is a waste of
How
time.
could you possibly imagine that we would entertain this?
Come on, honey. I don't know. I just thought some allowance was in order once I heard about the meth lab. The one that used to be in the basement. Now, some would call that fraud in service of concealing a felony. I myself am more open-minded, but it is tricky. Now, I could file a suit and encumber this property indefinitely, or I could start some criminal proceedings. But I don't think any of us want that. Now, do we? How about it, counselor?
He's very good.
But do they knew about the meth lab?
Well, yeah, they found photos. That's why they kicked Jesse out. And that's how Jesse knew he was going to buy the house for $400,000. He told Saul about the meth lab. And Saul made everything else happen.
What a man!
Come on, it's not devil.
Oh.
He saw our intro for the finale and he was wondering why we delivered a pizza in it.
It's for this scene?
It's for this scene.
Oh, hey. Pizza.
Well, I'm making dinner.
Okay, I'll just put it in the fridge. It's even better the next day.
Hi, honey.
What kind of example do we want to set here, right? I mean, can we at least just sit down and eat a piece of pizza together? Just hash things out like adults.
We have discussed everything we need to discuss. I thought I made myself very clear.
Got dipping sticks.
Oh, well, okay. Wow. What the fuck is that shit? C'est quoi, coup de facier? En plus, ça va ouvrir la porte? What? Damn!
That was the first take, by the way. That was the first take. It wasn't supposed to go on the roof, but it did, so they kept it.
It's like...
And for a while,
it's like when you do a bottle flip and it flips just in the perfect space.
Fans found the house where they recorded Breaking Bad, and for a while, fans would go and throw pizzas to the rooftop. But that's why we throw pizza in our intro.
Ah.
And it came back in a lot of little clips and stuff they did for fun outside of the show.
Oh my god. He's a wreck. You want to see a broken man? Here you are. His guilt. Watching him like the eyes of God.
Reach Walt's temporary number. Please leave a message.
When I went out this morning to get the newspaper, I saw a pizza on our roof. Would you know anything about that? Listen to me, Walt. You need to control yourself. Calm down, accept the situation, and keep your distance. If you can't manage that, I will get a restraining order.
Hello. Ah!
Funny to see how you laugh at his misery.
Get you
Restraining order right here. Restrain this.
He's hungover.
Breaking even's not so bad. In this economy, a lot of people would kill to
What? No, wait, are you kidding me?
Jake, he had his heart set on going to space camp.
God, this is all we need.
What a burden he is.
I was off.
Jesse, it's really not a good time.
Jesse, the house has been sold. The new owners are expected at any moment. Where do you think you're going?
Inside. Bought the place.
Oh, I always found this to be so fucking hurtful for them. Like, I love this scene.
But did you saw that the stickers on her car? There was a mom, a dad, and one kid. That was disgusting.
That's kind of why I'm not feeling bad for them in this situation. You basically, you know, he's not He's not raising any hell or anything. He just bought the house fair and square, the way anyone would, and then he's like going inside. You know, he's just doing his thing. I liked it.
Yep.
Especially, you know, his dad tried to do something, but okay, we'll keep that for later.
Why? Yep. What is he doing? I'm scared. But is he putting cameras? Oh, microchip.
Keeping an eye on her so to make sure that she doesn't go to the cops or nothing is being pulled. Walt. He's coming back. He's in a state of, this is my house, I don't give a shit.
They changed the keys! But she changed the locks.
What the fuck is going on?
On the tank heater?
Yeah. It's probably so people can have access to under the house.
Yep. And he knows where the traps are. It's his
Oh,
house.
he built this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not paid enough for this.
No.
But I'm gonna enjoy the. Oh no! I was about to say I'm gonna enjoy the show, but.
Not this one. They're wearing gloves and everything.
Should have just waited another day.
Can you imagine if the house was filled with the kids?
Crap.
If Skyler and the kids were in the house right now?
Caballo sin nombre.
It's the fact that they came at him with an axe too, you know? Not just a gun or anything, an axe. It's much more personal.
Violent.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
It's me. There's something you should know about. Come on.
Gus?
Yep.
He knows the guys.
Saul knows the guy who's outside right now, but he doesn't work for him. He works for Gus.
Yes. No, but
you know,
the guys who cleans that up knows these boys.
Well, he knows they're dangerous. He just came in with an axe.
Are they gonna wait about? Okay.
Yeah, man's gotta have his shower.
Boy, Gus is calling them. Gus knows these guys.
In the meth world, everyone knows everyone.
Yep. But in the cartel, Gus saved your life. Oh, so now.
This scene is amazing. It could have ended in tragedy.
Oh my god! Okay.
So, when it comes to who knows whom, so you just learned that, okay, I'm tired of calling him the guy who cleans up, so just so everyone knows who we're talking about, the old man who plays cameras and stuff, he's called Mike.
Mike.
Okay, so Mike.
Mike works for Gus.
And he knows Saul because Saul called him when it came to cleaning up Jesse's mess when Jane died.
But he does cleaning business. He works for Gus, but I understand that Saul can call him for some duties.
I mean, Saul knew Gus. He knew someone who knew Gus. So maybe
that was Mike.
That would have probably been Mike.
Okay.
So now you know that Mike is related to Gus. In a way, like he works for
like you said, everybody knows everyone. Everybody knows
but
everybody.
you had no idea that this was linked to Gus in some way. And even more than that, the fact that he's that influential, that one call from him, one word from him can stop two guys with an axe from killing the guy they crawled over for, you know?
Gus is a very powerful guy, and maybe they seem conceited, like it's a proof, but I didn't need it.
A proof for us.
It's a proof for us that Gus was powerful. I didn't need it, but you can show me.
Yeah, but that's a good thing because Walt was dead. Walt was clearly dead. They were waiting to kill him. He was gone if it wasn't for Gus.
I have some doubts that maybe Gus is gonna manipulate this situation to make Walter make more businesses.
Maybe. One thing though is that if Mike had been a little early or a little bit late, it would have been over. So it was like a matter of seconds. So
yep.
A
matter of
terrifying.
1 minute.
And again, the confirmation, like they went to Tuco's uncle, so family. That old man is not letting go of his anger because of what happened to Tuco, which means.
But it wasn't Walter's fault.
Nobody was there.
Yes.
And he doesn't really know what happened outside.
You just know that Tuco died.
And I mean, who led to this? You know, Walter was there. I don't remember Tuco saying anything about Jesse, but Jesse was there as well. So they've seen each other. So everyone is kind of at risk when it comes to this family because they're crazy.
Yeah.
But they are entertaining to watch.
Yep.
What else? With the whole, I mean, this episode was kind of slow like the first one, so there's not much that happened, but we kept pushing like the Skyler situation though. And one thing is,
she's between a rock and a hard place because nobody knows why she's such conservative of why she doesn't want to speak to Walter.
Yeah.
She keeps it for herself. Like why you you block the kids to see Walter? Of course, he's doing meth business.
For his sake and the kid's sake, she doesn't want to tell anyone that he's doing meth.
Yes, and for Walter and everything. And like Saul said that the repercussion.
It'd be the repercussions
would be too great for Hank will lose his job maybe, Skyler and Walter is gonna be laughed at, or maybe stones will be thrown.
They probably lose the house and
True.
And I mean she'd be like, too many consequences for her if she says anything.
Thrown! Stones will be thrown!
There you go. But I mean, Walter doesn't focus on that. He doesn't believe that Skyler will do this.
He's not sure about that.
Well, he doesn't want to focus on it. He's more focused on the fact that he's lost his wife and his kids.
Or he is losing them. He didn't lose them yet.
Well, he tried with the pizza and it was pretty.
He was denied.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that. I believe that with his pride, he says nothing's over until I sign the divorce paper.
It's true, but it doesn't, mean that she's not moving on and doing other stuff. She's in her mind, it's over. It's true that she's not technically free of him as long as he doesn't sign the papers. And considering what he just did at the end, I don't think he's gonna sign the papers.
Of course not. It's Walter.
Came back to
his pride, his pride is being pushed off since the beginning of the episode, like with the cop thing. Yeah.
And he was being, she was telling him that she was gonna ask for a restraining order and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, she's keeping him away, and like I said before, like Walt doesn't like to be told what to do and to be kept away from. Like his son actually said it himself. Like he was saying, "It's your house. Everyone is on your side, so she cannot keep you away." And I'm like, he did a face like at that moment. He was like, "Huh." But then he was like, "Oh no, it's not about taking sides." But it registered in his mind that if he wanted back, everyone would probably.
It complied to him. He agreed. He was happy to know that everyone was on his side, because in this situation, Skyler is the girl who pushed him off because maybe, like Hank said, he's having an affair. Walter, I do believe he has any clue of what's happening and why his mother is mad. No,
oh, Walter Jr. Okay, sorry.
He has no idea why Skyler is mad. Hank has an idea. Mary thinks it's something else. She's in a good path.
She's on her sister's side.
Yes.
Like both of them.
And she knows there is a gay under the rock. there's something behind the drawers.
There's something beneath it all, under it all. Yeah, we understand.
Derrière le rideau.
Behind the curtain.
Behind the curtains, there's something plotting, and she knows it. Yes.
It's bigger than what she's letting on. So
yes, it's more than just a single affair.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Skyler doesn't have anyone on her side when it comes to this because she's not saying anything. So it's sad because for Walter, she's willing to not say anything, but because she's not saying anything, she's the one that takes all the shit from her son. And now with Walter forcing himself back in the house, like she's gonna come back, he's gonna be there. What next? Because Flynn is gonna be happy that he's there.
Walter Jr.?
Yeah, Walter Jr. is gonna be happy. Hank and Marie still don't understand. I'm pretty sure Marie was down her side, but Hank is super pal with Walter, so he would not push the situation. So yeah, I don't think she can do anything about it.
Nope, she can't. She's between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, unless she makes herself the bigger villain again when it comes to her son and stuff. But it's sad. Woo, okay, so there's a lot of stuff happening here. You saw the famous pizza scene.
Yeah.
It's not huge for you right now, but I'm telling you, like the fact that people went years later to throw pizza and stuff, and the people living in the house had to say, "Well, you gotta stop, guys, because this is getting disturbing." and
you wake up and you have pizza on your roof.
Well, that's the thing, and the producers have to say, "Okay, guys, stop it." So that's funny. I have actually.
No.
If we have time in between episodes, there are a lot of little things like on YouTube that people want us to watch and want us to react to. They wanted me to watch it, and they want you to watch it too now. And this pizza thing comes back in some of them. So even though it's a little thing that happened, it's kind of folklore in Breaking Bad that it happened on the first try and it wasn't supposed to end on the roof, but it did perfectly flat and stuff. So that look he gave of like, what? That was completely genuine because he didn't expect this to happen. That's funny. But it's sad. I mean, pizza aside, I don't enjoy watching the family being torn apart, but I'm on Skyler's side. Like I said last episode, I know a lot of people were against her because they were supporting Walter 100%. So when they saw her go against him, they thought she was kind of like, she was being a bitch in their opinion, and I don't really agree. She does have her faults, like she does have her bad side, but...
She does bad things for Walter's,
I mean, I think she's in her right to be mad that...
She's the enemy of Walter right now,
yeah.
But Walter is making choices that make himself have enemies.
Some people say that she's kind of being not selfish, but yeah, well, kind of selfish because she's helping, like, some people think that she's helping Ted with this scheme, you know, his illegal deal with the money, but then she gets all mad about
But she didn't
Walter.
sign the papers of Frank too.
But I think that's because of what she learned about Walter that she decided not to do it in the end. But at first she said she was going to do it. She was willing to help him out with that. And then she decided not to because Walter is also doing something illegal and she doesn't want any part of it. And then she would turn around and do something
right
illegal
now
for
she's
Ted.
saying she's better than this. And that's why I will not sign the papers.
So yeah, personally I don't agree with the people who are mad at her. I think that she's in a very complicated situation. And
she's a complex character too.
Yeah.
She's not all the bad girl or the good girl. The good woman or the bad woman. She's just Skyler.
And I mean, like,
she's having her flaws and she's having her coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm. And personally, I think like it's not less bad, but a money scheme doesn't shock you as much as I'm making meth. You know?
It's more American than drugs dealing. I think.
Maybe, I don't know about that.
I think it's like a Hopper problem being taken for
and
fraud.
I mean, it's the fact also that she allowed Ted to explain himself a little bit. So in her mind,
Frank, Ted.
Yeah, in her mind, like Ted said several times that he's doing it because he's neck deep in troubles. He doesn't have any money. He was desperate. He was waiting for his kids. And Walter never really had a chance to explain himself about the meth because they were already fighting for something.
No, she didn't want to hear about it because he was the bad guy.
And the fact is, when it comes to Walter, he had another option. Probably Ted probably did too, but Walter had someone offer him money, so he cannot really take meth as an excuse because he had something else. So there is no justification.
Skyler saw every occasion to have money.
But that's the thing, yeah. Walt has no opportunity to explain himself because there's always going to be, well, we offered you money, so why?
It was for his pride, so it's a bad thing for Skyler, and I understand that.
Me too. Okay, lastly.
Lastly?
Jesse and his parents.
Jesse, what a badass move.
I love that move. I love that
I
scene.
think he was, at first when he went to his house, he saw his dad, maybe he was surprised to saw his dad there. He saw the construction, he tried to make small talk with his dad. He tried to put some grounds to it, and it got rejected. Just for dinner and someday, like...
Yeah, it was obvious that he didn't want to meet with his son. Which, okay, we'll be frank, we both understand. You know, when you fought for your kid for so long, when you've dealt with a problem like this for so long, you're human. At one point, fighting becomes too much. So that I can understand. But in that case, I would say don't pretend to care like he did.
No.
Like, that's why, like, at first I was like, well, okay, it's not too bad. But then when he showed up at the end and his parents were like, oh gosh, another problem. Like, they literally, like, no filter this time.
He's a burden.
That's the thing. That's when I was like, okay, fuck them. You know, like, I don't give a shit
like
about
we
them.
needed this today,
he's obviously tried to change. He's obviously better. He can obviously do it. But if he's always met with this attitude,
right. He tried to after his rehab, he tried to come in good terms. He got rejected, so he's like, fuck that shit, and he went all in to buy the house.
And
it's
I think,
his house,
yeah.
actually.
And
actually, in the first season, we learned it's the house that his aunt gave to him.
It was half his parents, and they kicked him out after the meth thing, and it was a huge deal. So I think, like, weirdly enough, it is also like a comeback for this fight.
Well, yeah.
Because he's still mad about that. It's just that he handled it in a very mature way.
He could have passed over it, but with the attitude of his dad at the beginning of the episode, he said, no, I'm gonna fight for it.
I think he could have willingly, like, he would have willingly bought the house, but the fact, like you said, the fact that his dad rejected him once more, he kind of realized that he doesn't care about them as much as he should, or he decided that he was no longer gonna care, And that's why he took the price down like to 400,000 because he knew he could make a deal with it with Saul. Yeah. And that was brilliant. Like Saul and Jesse together, that was pretty cool. So yeah, that's a mic drop move. I loved it. Yes. I don't like when parents get hurt and stuff, but I loved it.
It was a badass move, and Saul in the scene, when I saw Saul in that room, I was like, oh no, you're not gonna be nice to meet him.
But Saul, that's the thing, like, you've got a guy like Walter who keeps saying he doesn't want to be a criminal, he doesn't want to be a bad guy, and then you've got Saul who just embraced it at this point. Like, you don't know where he's coming from.
It pays off.
Yes.
And
you don't know what he's been through, but because you don't know his past in Better Call Saul, but as a character, Saul Goodman has at this point accepted that he's a crook. And he's okay with it.
I had a bad experience with a lawyer. One of my coworkers was a lawyer student, and you know that the attitude I saw in that guy was like, I know what is the rules, so I can bend them to my will.
Yeah,
and that's what Saul is doing.
Exactly.
It's funny to watch. It's hard to live. So I know the situation of the parents. So but it's okay. I'm done past this.
Let's not lie here. They definitely ran after that trouble, though. I can understand not saying anything about a meth lab in your basement, but they try to sell it without saying anything about it. So they opened the door for someone like Saul to find that loophole and do something about it. Yeah. So don't lie. I mean, it's unfortunate, but don't lie about this.
No.
Okay, what? Something else? You have something else to say?
No.
Like I said, it was like, I don't think there's much to say about this episode because it was just like, they're still setting up some stuff. It's the beginning of the season.
I thought it was the beginning of the action, but I forget it was Breaking Bad, so the tension is still going up.
Well, tension and action are two things. Yeah. But a good episode doesn't need action. But if it has tension, I think they did a good job. And there was tension with the axe thing.
Yes.
It's just we're at the beginning of the season, so there's not much to talk about because there's not much development yet. But it will come. So, yes. That's it.
So that's all.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one, right now it's on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description.
Or you can wait next week to see the other episode.
Yes, on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah.
Bye. Bye.